We're continuing in Ayin Beis. We're discussing the Sfiros of Tayu and the Sfiros of Tikun, and what was the problem with the Sfiros of Tayu. So in this paragraph in Reish Lamed Ches and Reish Lamed Tes, we basically conclude the Maimer, and we basically are saying that in the Sfiros of Tayu, there was basically two problems. One is that they thought, all the Sfiros thought they were perfect, they were Romemus. There was nothing missing with them that they would need the other Sfiro to come and help them with. And then they also didn't see any Maila, any Yisrain that the other Sfiro had. So what do they need them for? And the truth is that we see that in Tikun this was fixed, and there is a Maila, even though Chesed has everything in Gvura, but Gvura, when Gvura gets from Chesed, the Gvura comes stronger, and it makes a Maila also in the Chesed. So each one is really gaining when the Chesed gives into the Gvura and the Gvura takes from the Chesed. But in Tayu they couldn't understand this because each one felt that they are b'shleimus and they don't need from the other one, and they're not missing anything. So what do they need to give and what do they need to take from? And in Reish Lamed Tes, basically the Rebbe Shab explains that the main thing was they were missing was the lack of the bittul. That if they would realize, if they put themselves aside, because it's hard to give over, but if they realize that by giving over, you end up getting higher, then even though it's hard for them, but they put away they have the bittul and they go do it. It's like the mashpia and the makabel. Mashpia doesn't really want to give over to the makabel. It's hard for him to give over. But when the mashpia gives over to the makabel, the mashpia ends up gaining a lot more. And we see this in Oiris and Kalim, that the Oiris doesn't really want to come into Kalim, but when the Oir comes into the Kali, so the Oir is a lot higher than the Kali, but the Kali, the Shairesh is in the Kali, and the only reason the Oir is coming into the Kali is because this is the mitzvah of Kavanah al-Yaina. This is the Kavanah that Hashem wants, that the Oir should come into the Kali, and the Shairesh of the Kali is higher than the Oir. So the Ur ends up gaining, the Ur gets a higher Ur, the Ur built the Mugbal. So really everyone is getting, but the only way to do it is by putting yourself aside and having the bittul of giving over even when you don't want to. And just to conclude, we see that from this we could answer really the question of why does it say Anochi Hashem Lekecha Asher Tzeicha Mitzrayim and not Shemai Ba'aretz, is because Matan Torah started the 2,000 years of Tikun, of Torah, which is, before that was the 2,000 years of Tayu, and now it starts the 2,000 years of Torah. And the whole point is that, but you see, Anochi Hashem Elikecha is Hashem is Eiris, and Elikim is Kalim, and when you have the Eiris and the Kalim, you get to the much higher level of Anochi. So this is and this is the whole point. The whole point is that not the to live in the world, to fulfill the kavanah al-yaina, to have the ayros in the kalim.